Good morning. Happy New Year. This is the time and place for the zoning administrator's hearing for January 7, 2009. My name is Edith Fuentes, and I will be conducting the hearing as hearing officer. We have one case today, and relevant exhibits are posted on the panels located directly behind me. Under the provisions of Title 30, Chapter 30 of the Glendale Municipal Code, a conditional use permit shall be granted if four required findings are present. 1. That the proposed use will be consistent with the elements and objectives of the general plan. 2. That the use and its associated structures and facilities will not be detrimental to the public health or safety, the general welfare, or the environment. 3. That the use and facilities will not adversely affect or conflict with adjacent uses or impede the normal development of surrounding property. And 4. That adequate public and private facilities will be provided for the use. For applications involving the sale, serving, or consumption of alcoholic beverages, there are also 5 criteria that shall be considered in making the findings. If the evidence presented in the application and at the hearing meets the criteria just described, then the zoning administrator can either approve or impose conditions for approval on the case in question. If the findings of fact are not evident, then the request will be denied. Notification of this hearing was accomplished by the use of public notices, which were mailed to property owners located within 500 feet of the subject property, physically posted on the site in question, and placed in the local newspaper. The hearing will proceed as follows. I will read the description of the application or the request and read reports received from other city departments and other letters or communications from interested parties. The applicant will be asked to come forward, stating both name and address, and will be asked to present the case within a 15-minute time limit. Others in support of or in opposition to the application and any interested parties will be asked to come forward to speak. Again, clearly stating both name and address within a 3-minute time limit. Lastly, the applicant will be given the opportunity to make closing comments, if desired, in response to testimonies given by preceding speakers within a 5-minute time limit. The hearing will be closed and the case taken under submission. After the hearing, the decision will be prepared in writing and will be in the form of a letter sent to the applicant and to all persons who responded to the public notice, either by speaking at this hearing or by submitting written responses and have provided their name and mailing address. I would like to emphasize that the date of the decision will be the date appearing on the letter. Under the appeal provisions of Title 30, Chapter 30 of the Glendale Municipal Code, the decision may be appealed to the Planning Commission within 15 days of the date of the decision. Anyone wishing to appeal may obtain forms and brochures on the procedures from our Building and Safety Section, Permit Services Center, located on the same floor of this building. If you wish to speak, please write your name and address on one of these speaker forms, which have been provided by the front door and submitted to our planning assistant. I would like to also inform everyone that the official proceedings of the zoning administrator's hearing are recorded on tape as part of public record. And I just want to make a brief announcement. We have changed our presentation process a little bit. And what we're going to do is I'm going to ask the case planner who's responsible for this case to do a brief overview of the case, and then a preliminary recommendation from staff will be given as far as the case is concerned. Okay, this case is CUP 2008-046. Location is 103 to 105 South Maryland Avenue. Applicant is Williams Land Use Services. Property owner is Tuan Tran. And this is an application for a conditional use permit to allow the on-site sale, service, and consumption of beer and wine in conjunction with an existing restaurant located at 103 through 105 South Maryland Avenue in the DSP Downtown Specific Plan, Maryland District, described as portion of lots 9 and 10, tract number 618. And let me just quickly go through some of the comments. From police department, they basically just gave us the census tract and crime rate in the area. However, they noted that within the last calendar year, there have been no calls for police service on this establishment. And other than that, I have no comments or major issues from other departments. So I'm going to ask Gevorg, the case planner, to give us an overview of the case.
Thank you, Ms. Fuentes. Good morning.
Good morning.
As you mentioned, the case number for this application is PCUP 2008-046, located at 103 through 105 South Maryland Avenue. The applicant is proposing to obtain a conditional use permit for on-site sale, service, and consumption of beer and wine. And the project is located in the Downtown Specific Plan, Maryland District, and it is exempt from CEQA. The site is an 825 square foot restaurant within a multi-tenant commercial building. It has pedestrian access at the ground level. It also has an outdoor dining area of about 200 square feet and has obtained a permit for it in July 25 of 2008. According to the Glendale Police Department, the census tract in which the property is located has 18 alcoholic beverage sales licenses, where only 4 would be permitted. However, the fact that there is an over-concentration of licenses does not appear to be an issue because this type of use is suitable in the area, and the number of crimes in the census tract is within 1% of the city's average. So, with that said, staff recommends an approval with the following suggested conditions for the hearing officers to be considered. Limit the hours of alcohol sales from 8:30 to 12 midnight, 7 days a week. This will allow flexibility in the future operations while protecting against possible impacts from late-night alcohol consumption. Require that the new CUP be applied for in the restaurant if the restaurant wishes to sell alcoholic beverages other than beer and wine. Require renewal of the conditional use permit in 3 years, and require renewal of the encroachment permit if alcohol is to be served at the sidewalk area. This concludes my presentation. If you have questions, I'm available.
Yes, a comment and then a question. As far as the hours of operation for alcoholic sales, I normally would go with whatever the State Department of Alcoholic Beverage Control will impose on you, because they have different areas and different hours of operation, number one. And number two, you mean in condition number 2, you mean distilled spirits, not alcoholic beverage? Because it is an application for an alcohol sales, beer and wine. Distilled spirits, which is other than beer and wine.
Other types of alcoholic beverages, yes.
Okay. And then as far as the renewal of conditional use permit in 3 years, I will definitely consider that recommendation. Okay, and thank you very much. With that, I'm going to ask the applicant, Ms. Janelle Williams, to present the case and go through the 4 findings. Thank you.
Good morning and Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
My name is Janelle Williams, Williams Land Use Services, 2418 Honolulu Avenue in Montrose. I've listened to the staff report. Thank you very much. Good work.
You don't have to do anything.
And we will certainly comply with the hours of operation or any conditions that you may impose on this application, and certainly comply with all of the ABC requirements. As you know, this is an application for a conditional use permit for the sales of beer and wine in conjunction with an existing restaurant use. The site is 825 square foot restaurant within a multi-tenant building at the southwest corner of Maryland and Broadway. They currently do have a sidewalk dining permit for approximately 200 square feet of outdoor dining. And the city's parking garage is located on the same block on Maryland Avenue. Current hours of operation are from 8:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday, closed on Sunday. These hours of operation...
We're recommending more hours of operation.
These hours may change as business,
We want you to be open late.
Right. There have been no calls for police service at the location. Going into the findings, number 1, how will the proposed use be consistent with the various elements and objectives of the general plan? Andre's Cafe is a place where patrons come for a casual meal in the heart of downtown Glendale, located on Maryland Avenue, east of Brand Boulevard, in the pedestrian-oriented area. There is no on-street parking there. Maryland Avenue is classified as a minor arterial within a regional commercial center in accordance with the circulation element of the general plan. The designation is compatible with the operation of Andre's Cafe and its conditional use permit request for on-site sales of beer and wine. The DSP zoning designation permits this use, the service of beer and wine, with the conditional approval that we seek today. Finding number 2, why will the proposed use and its associated structures and facilities not be detrimental to the public health, safety, or general welfare, or to the environment? The conditions that you would impose will ensure that the operation of the cafe and the service of beer and wine for on-site consumption will be in strict accordance with the requirements of the code and will not be detrimental to the public health, safety, general welfare, or to the environment. Your conditions and the strict application of alcoholic beverage control laws will promote compliance. Why will the proposed use and facilities not adversely affect or conflict with adjacent uses or impede the normal development of surrounding property? Andre Cafe has existed at the location for approximately 15 years. That's my best guess. I remember going there a long, long time ago for a sandwich. Without adversely affecting or conflicting with any adjacent uses. Since it is existing in an area that's fully built out, there is no chance of it impeding development of surrounding property. The ability to enjoy a glass of beer or wine with a meal is an amenity that has been requested by longtime patrons of the restaurant, and it's anticipated by new patrons and expected in the new downtown Glendale. Explain how adequate public and private facilities such as utilities, landscaping, parking spaces, and traffic circulation measures are or will be provided for the proposed use. Adequate public and private facilities do exist to the site to conform to the City of Glendale's code requirements. This request is for permission to serve beer and wine for on-site consumption in an existing restaurant. Therefore, no changes would occur to the demand for utilities, parking spaces, or any special traffic measures. Improved streets are adjacent to the project area and provide adequate access. The typical limited time period for renewal of the conditional use permit will also provide opportunities for the city to ensure the adequate maintenance and operation within the law at all times. That concludes my findings.
Okay. The additional 5 criteria, as we've kind of gone through the census tract and the crime rate, and I'm assuming there's no church, public school, park, any
That's correct. There are no churches, schools,
except
parks
the
within
central.
600.
Is that within like 1,000 feet?
It's within the consideration
Central
points
Library.
are within 1,000 feet, and then it's 500 feet.
Okay.
500
You're
feet
right
is
next
there.
to the parking garage and. Okay. You're
As
gonna
you know,
get your
these kinds of alcoholic
State
beverage
Department of Alcoholic Beverage Public Convenience and Necessity letter.
Yes,
that
we
will
would
come
need
with
that.
the conditional use permit decision.
sales. Yes, that would be
Okay.
required.
How many employees do they have? Do you
Well,
know?
right now they have 2.
Two?
And we would anticipate a maximum of 3.
3 or 4?
It's a very
Yeah.
small
Okay.
little restaurant.
And again, what's their hours of operation?
Their current hours of operation are from 8:30 a.m.
To 9 p.m.?
9 p.m.,
And
subject to change.
Monday through
Monday through Saturday,
Saturday.
closed on Sunday.
Okay. Yes, I remember the place. It's been there
Very
more
long
than 14 or 15
Yes.
years. Okay. Is there anybody else here who would like to speak in support or in opposition to this application? Seeing none, do you have any closing comments?
Closing comments, okay.
You don't have to.
Sure. Yes, I do. As far as the hours of operation, they are compatible with the hours of operation in the downtown, with other downtown uses, causing no conflict. A majority of the restaurants operating downtown in the city of Glendale provide alcoholic beverage service in conjunction with the service of food. Andre's Cafe is a small business, and they simply wish to be able to compete fairly in the new dynamic of downtown Glendale. Your approval would help sustain a small restaurant serving the downtown area.
Do you know what type of food or cuisine they serve? Is it French, Middle East, something?
It's a
combination?
mixture of, American food. They still sell sandwiches, and they have a Middle Eastern menu as well.
Euro-Asian American.
Euro-Asian American.
Okay, good. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
And I'm going to go ahead, take this case under submission, and close the public hearing at 9:55 in the morning. Thank you very much for coming.